What up, infidels? Good to see you again. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a Dangerous Brown, and the reason is I have a new space to record in my. It's still in my room, but this time I have a desk. What this desk means is yes, Festus will be back eventually. I'm trying to see what else I can do. Maybe get a little placard that says Dangerous Brown, like a hanging shelf that says Dangerous Brown right here. I think that's in order. I'm gonna try to order that online coming up soon. And then yeah, we're out here, we're doing it. We're trying to make things better here for you guys. This is the desk I'll be using. I'll be doing a breakdown of a Steve Harvey joke. I'll be doing joke breakdowns. It won't be for the podcast, but it'll be for the YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, look out for those. It'll take a while because I'm learning how to edit and do all that myself. Like I quote unquote edit this myself, but I don't really do much. As you can find, as many of you who've watched have been like, where I'll be like, I'll put up this, and then I don't because I'm lazy. Yeah, that. I wouldn't count that as editing. You feel what I'm saying? But we're here. We're queer, and we're ready to talk about steer. This is Texas. No, but this is dope. This is dope. I love it. You can see this is two stickers of Brian Holtzman on the side here. Two stickers of Holtzman. Because that's how we roll. Festus is at my parents' place because he holds it down. You know Festus. I will try to bring him. Maybe, I don't know. I kind of want him at my parents' place to hold it down. Maybe I'll get the Dangerous Brown logo up. In fact, could I get it up right now? I don't have the thing to plug it in, but that'll be right here. Oh my God, that's perfect. I don't even need a hanging shelf. Why didn't I even think of this? Why did I think of this beforehand? Holy shit, I could get it done. Hold on. Let me try to think if I have anything I could plug it into. Let's see. Keep yourself entertained for 1 second, guys. I'm going to leave for 1 second. Am I going to cut this? No, because this is uncut. This is uncut podcast where we figure things out as we go on the fly. Let's see if this works. Give me 1 second. I'm talking. Can you hear me? All right, I'm back already. Let's see if this works here. Get this in the corner. Let's see. Let me plug this into my computer. Let's see if this works. If I plug it into my computer here. Should I figure this out beforehand? Yeah. Did I not think about it until I was talking? Absolutely. All right, it's plugged in. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Can you guys see it? Does it make sense? Let's see it. Different color. All right, let's go. Let's go blue. Let me see. I'm going to go up to the camera and take a look to see if you can see it. If not, you know what? I'm going to keep it out this time. It says Dangerous Brown. I was keep it up this time. If not, we'll try to work for next time. But let me see. I'm gonna go look up to the camera, see if this works. We're trying to figure this. If you're not on the YouTube, check this out because it might look cool or it might look unrecognizable. We're about to see in a second. Give me 1 second. Damn, I don't think you can tell. Here, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, can you leave a comment on whether or not it makes sense to you? For now, I'm gonna unplug it just in case. But let's see. Maybe if I move it this way a little bit, so that it's just not the right color. Well, we're trying to figure things out here. I'm gonna have this as my background for my Twitch, I think. But look at all the different colors it can do, though. As we cycle through here. All right. I won't use it today because it doesn't look like it works. But yeah, if you're in the YouTube, can you just comment a quick comment to see if it works? I'm gonna put this down over here. All right, you see how excited I am about this new setup? It's pretty good. Interesting thing that happened to me this week. I met Freddie Gibbs this week. I performed on a show hosted by Freddie Gibbs at the Vulcan. And I met him the night before, and I got introduced by my friend Brian Moses, and he's like, yo, this is Freddie Gibbs. And then I learned I was going to do the show, and I had to be like, yo, what's up, Freddie? And I had to pretend that I knew who he was. Like, I knew he was a musician. I should say a musician. I knew he was a rapper, but I had no idea what any of his songs were, and I just had to pretend that I loved him. I had to be like, oh, whoa, what's up, Freddie? That's crazy, dog. I can't believe I finally get to meet you. Like, I had to just like, yo, just play it cool. Play it cool. You're going to be on his show. You got to pretend like you've listened to his music before. And that's show business, baby. Sometimes you just got to just like, yo, I'm your biggest fan. No idea. I went home thinking like, man, I hope his music is good. And it was really good. I enjoyed his music. Me and my roommate, we had it on in our car because he also met Freddie, Mr. David Santafonte. And he also met Freddie. And we both had no idea who he was. But we listened to his music to go get donuts at like 3 a.m, and it fit the vibe. It definitely fit the vibe. I have to listen to more of his music, but if I could give a review of Freddie Gibbs' music, is that it's definitely cool to put on if you're going for donuts at 3 a.m. It definitely fits whatever vibe you're in. It's a good vibey music. I really liked it. But yeah, dude. That's so fun. It's so funny because like here's a guy that I know is a big deal, and I just have to pretend that I know that how big of a deal he truly is. Wild. Amazing show. I fucking murdered in front of him. He's not gonna forget who I am. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. He's a famous rapper. So who knows? He's living in like a whole different world, dude. A whole different world. I saw him and Danny Brown hanging out in the green room, and I was like, this is a whole different level of person. It was one of my better sets that I had. It was one of the better sets that I had. I will say that. It was definitely one of the better sets that I have. All right. Before we get into news, again, I want to remind you that I'm gonna try doing some things here. I'm gonna try doing some things. I'm gonna try doing some joke breakdowns. I got a couple ideas, so I got to start working on them. So that's what this week is. I'm gonna slowly start working on them. The Steve Harvey one. It's gonna take a while because I do have to learn how to edit. Like I'm gonna try to do like a slow shot, like a slow zoom in. See if I can do that just via editing software, because I don't have anyone operating the camera. This is a. You're like, oh, this is all just me. There ain't no producer. I got no studio. I had to create my own sort of look at it. You know what I mean? It's just very, very do it yourself until one day this all takes off. But until then, please be patient with me. I don't know. I've been saying this for like about a year now, but I feel like things are moving. All right. I feel like things are moving. But okay, before we get into the news and stuff to talk about, I just brought up literally the top news of the week according to Reddit, which I know is not the best because it's like a very liberal slant on things, but it's just something. You gotta get your news from somewhere, I think, right? Smart thing to do is Twitter, obviously, but because that's what the people are talking about. But regardless, I like the news aggregated in one spot. Before we get into the news, which there's been a lot going on in the last couple weeks, let's talk about jokes I'm working on, man. Jokes you might see in my act if you come visit me, and if you come see me one day. And here's a big one. Here's not a big one. Here's a joke I have going on, or an idea. So I was driving past this church, and the church had a sign that said, "Those who are unremarkable follow the crowd." And it's like, yo, bro, what a great way for a pastor to just dunk on a congregation like that, dude. Just bammed on him. Highlight reel dunk on his congregation, bro. He just basically calling anyone who comes to a church a loser, dude. I love it. Let him know. No idea. 100%. He had no idea or she had no idea that's what they were doing. was just straight up dunking on the congregation. You guys don't follow the crowd, do you? No, we don't. Just a chorus of people saying how they don't follow the crowd. Just a crowd of people saying how they don't follow the crowd. So funny. I'm your shepherd, bitches. Like, do you think he knows? You know what I mean? Do you think he's like, I'm your shepherd, losers, you sheep, You think any of any like priest or pastor calls their congregation sheep? Because aren't they all sheep? Technically, isn't the Lord Lord your shepherd? Am I wrong? I know I'm reading the Bible, and we'll get to Joshua's chapters 1 through 12 later today. But am I wrong? If you go to church, aren't you technically and in the best way sheep? Possibly. It feels like it. Oh, I hear my cats crying. See, my cats always want to get in my room. They always want to get in my room, and they can hear me like being active in my room. So now they're outside my doors, like crying to get in, just meow, meow. But I can't let them in. Of course, for those of you who don't know, who are new, I do have a cat named Obama, and I don't allow Obama into my room. He has to stay in the living room, and you know, it's a couple things. One, I'm a little bit allergic, so I can handle them in the living room. But if they're in the place that I sleep, I worry that like it'll be hard for me to breathe. That's number one, why they're not allowed in here really. And then number two, of course, is as a brown man, I'm worried that Obama will try to bring democracy to where I live, and I can't have that. My room is an autocratic dictatorship. Whatever I say in my room goes. And there's a bunch of oil reserves in here. So, and I worry Obama, he's been sniffing around. I see his paws scratching where the oil reserves are, and I can't have him in here. I cannot have him in here. I cannot have him in here. But yeah, dude. Just a pastor dunking on his congregation. And you know what it is? I wonder if anyone in the congregation is smart enough to realize that, like, this is actually kind of about them. No way, because they think they think they're the ones not they're the crowd that thinks they're not following the crowd. Here's the thing: when people say the crowd, they define them as stuff that other people do that they wouldn't do. Like, they never look at the crowd of people that they're with as the crowd. They look at the other people as the crowd. If I had to guess, it had to do with some sort of anti-vax mask thing. If I had to guess, you know, where they're like, we're not like other people. We just act like other people on our side. You know, when people are like that. I don't know. Now that things are coming down and it looks like Delta's going down, which I thought it would. I talked about this few episodes ago where I was like, this third peak isn't going to be as high as the second peak. It isn't. It just isn't. I mean, if you look at how the 1919 flu worked, history repeats itself. That third peak was way smaller than the second peak. And it looks like it's on the way down. So I've been less, you know me, I was very much how real this was in the pandemic, during the pandemic, or like when I had to go back and live with my parents for a while because it's just my job evaporated, my job disappeared. I thought my career was over. I thought my job wouldn't exist anymore. That's how bad it got. So, of course, I thought the pandemic was super duper real. And not to say that the virus isn't real, of course, but I've softened my stance a little bit on it. And this is how I look at it. And I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like the most like pro-vax people, like you have to get it and you can't go anywhere without the vaccine, and public places shouldn't allow unvaccinated people. I feel like those people are always the lamest people. And then I feel like all like the super anti-vax, COVID isn't real people are always the dumbest people. I feel like the spectrum, because this virus has gotten so politicized, the spectrum has gotten that divided. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like that intense. Where one side sucks and then the other side also sucks. Right? I feel like there is a measured response. I feel like the measured response is like, look, being vaccinated can help if you get it. For sure, it can help if you get it. Like, it helps. You know, not to say you won't die if you get it if you're vaccinated. You still can, but it lowers your chances greatly. Being unvaccinated, look, the information is out there. If you decide not to get it, hey, that's your choice. You know, and that's okay. That's okay. Because most of you who get it, who are unvaccinated, won't die. And you made that choice, and that's okay. And that's fine. You know what? And if you get vaccinated, that's fine. If you get unvaccinated, that's fine. And some of you are like, oh, but they have the triage, give like ration healthcare in Alaska and Iowa. Well, fuck them. Maybe that's a wrong take. Maybe, well, fuck Alaska and Iowa or wherever they're rationing care. Look, I will say this. If for whatever reason there's a hospital that's overwhelmed with people, you got to treat the vaccinated first over the unvaccinated. You got to give them the ones that'll survive, the better chance of surviving. You got to give them priority. I think that's a fair trade-off. I do think it's just, I think, you know, as someone who's vaccinated, limiting places to only vaccinated people is terrible. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it. A, because vaccinated people can spread it amongst each other. It's not like we're super duper protected. So it doesn't really matter. And it's not like unvaccinated people are spreading it more than vaccinated people. So to not mingle with them is a little bit crazy. And as a comedian, so I'm in Texas right now, right? Where there's no vaccine requirements for pretty much all the shows. There's a couple shows, especially here in Austin, that you gotta be vaccinated, and it's like, it is what it is. I mean, I don't make policy, so I can't change that. It just is what it is, right? But as a comedian, like places in LA and New York, a lot of places are vaccinated only. And here we go. Here's the comedian sentence as I was gonna say. As a comedian, I don't know. I think that's worse for you if you only can talk to vaccinated people. Because your job as a performer is to connect with everyone. You can't connect with everyone if you're not performing for like 40% of the population, or however that's not vaccinated. I don't know. It's a substantial amount though. 40%. So we're talking still over 100 million people you are completely shutting yourself off to. It's going to stunt you as a comedian. You can't be the best comedian you can be, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? I'm a nobody comedian. But it feels like a bad thing, man. Feels like they're saying NBA players who are unvaccinated can't play in like their home states that they require. Get out of here. The cases are going down. They were always going to go down. If you saw India, they fell off a cliff. If you saw the Indian COVID numbers, they fell off a cliff. That was going to happen in America. It's not like India figured it all out. It's not like India all of a sudden started treating their poor people well and making sure they got the health care they needed. It's not like India all of a sudden changed up how they treated the less fortunate. No, there's something about this disease that makes it fall off a cliff like that. There's something. I don't know what it is. And it was going to happen here. So let the unvaccinated do stuff. Let them do stuff. Like I said, I'm vaccinated. I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any stretch of the imagination, but let them do stuff. You know how you radicalize more people is if you force them to the outskirts of society and say you can only mingle with each other. That's how you create radicals. Is that what you want? Do you want a bunch of right-wing radicals so you can then, you know, have a reason to expand your control? Actually, that's maybe exactly what you want. I didn't even think of that. But this might be just the plan. And then everyone's playing into it. The left, the super annoying left, is playing into it, being like, yeah, vaccine requirements. And then the super stupid right is like, we'll get more intense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems that's how you radicalize people, dude. It's how you radicalize people. You separate ideas. You say people with different ideas belong in different spaces. You know how you create more nuanced views is that you let ideas intermingle. Because then you have like, look, this virus is real, and if you take the vaccine, there's a better shot you survive if you get like hospitalized, or if you know what I mean, if you get that bad. If you even get that bad. And then, you know, you could also be vaccinated and be like, we shouldn't ban vaccinated people from doing we shouldn't ban unvaccinated people from doing stuff. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. It's just crazy, man. I'm not a big fan of the whole. I'm not a big fan of the whole vaccine things. I'm not a big fan of the vaccine mandates and the Dodgers. I'm not a big fan of those things. But also though, I will say this: there are a bunch of people who are losing work because they don't want to get the vaccine, and it's like, hey, look, I'm sorry you're being put in that position, but private employers can do whatever they want. That's literally kind of the free market in that way, is that they get to decide the market, and if the market says we want vaccinated workers, you kind of have to go with that. If you want government to step in, slow down, you communist, you know? But look, man, if I don't know, look, this vaccine isn't like, obviously it doesn't do anything to stop the spread of Delta, but I will say this is definitely not worth letting it get in front of your money. You know, it's definitely, you know what it is? The sore arm is definitely worth bringing home money for your family. So don't be stupid, and don't let this get in the way of your money. Your money. So you can be some internet martyr. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine. Good for you. You let the internet get in the way of your money. You let Facebook get in the way of your money, bro. Come on. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. I know plenty of people who didn't get vaccinated. I have friends who didn't get vaccinated. And I didn't care. I hung out with them. The second, and I never pushed the vaccine. I never was like, yo, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. I was like, whatever. The second they were starting to lose work, I was like, bro, get the vaccine. It's not worth not working. But, we're probably done talking about vaccine stuff. I just thought, because it's like, I don't know. Oh, I should talk about this. If you made it this far, because this is cool. This is what happened to me this week. The Freddie Gibbs show that I did, I mentioned it earlier. Bro, I did this one show. It was crazy. This was the craziest comedy show I've ever done, dude. There were just strippers everywhere. Everywhere. To the point where, like, somebody was on stage and it didn't matter because people were making it rain on the strippers. That's how crazy. It was one of the craziest things I ever did. I wish I could chop this up and show it on TikTok, but I know it'll get banned. But someone got a low quality video of me because I went up and they tried to make me do it. They're like, you should do a set. And I was like, dude, I'm not, there's no way. What am I going to? There's strippers around. That's what everyone cares about is these strippers, right? Bro. My entire set was I brought a stripper on stage and asked her to just dance and make sure she shakes her ass. I asked her that. And then I just read the Bible. So it's on my IG, a very low quality video of me. But it's me reading the Bible while this lady shakes her ass, and she gets into it. Like, she tries to, like, because I actually try to do it like some kind of preacher in like a tent in the South in the 1800s. You feel what I'm saying? I try to get like pointing and yelling and and she's just shaking her ass, dude. And it was glorious. It was glorious. One of the craziest comedy shows I've ever been a part of. Posted on Instagram, thought I was gonna get a lot of likes. Instagram shut down. Instagram shut down. I can't post it on TikTok because TikTok got mad about me about talking about my favorite hub video, let's say, you know what I mean? And so I definitely can't post a video of a sex worker doing her job, but proudly and well too, and very well. I chose, out of all the stripper, I chose, her name was Iris. I chose her because she had the best energy. I asked her, like, hey, can you do this with me? Because she had the best energy. She had the I'm here to entertain people energy. You know what I mean? Instead of I'm just eye candy. Some of them had the I'm just eye candy energy, and this one was like, no, I'm here to entertain. So I was like, Iris, come up on stage with me, and she was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Oh, and I told her the idea. She was like, hell yeah. And I was like, that is good stuff. That is good stuff. But by far, one of my favorite sets I've ever done in my entire life. So much fun. So much fun. Man, I wish I had our OnlyFans and I could promote it. Maybe I'll do it in the video description link of the YouTube. It's just at least, like, you know, I know, like, I have like I know there's like 5 infidels, right? And I know none of you are gonna probably go to her OnlyFans, but she did that for me, and I definitely appreciate that, Iris. I know you're not listening. I definitely appreciate that. And at the very least I can do is give people a roadmap to her OnlyFans. So yeah, dude, strippers, bro, shaking their ass while some people got up there and just did straight jokes, and it's like, how are you doing straight jokes, dude? I'm gonna grab my phone real quick. And put the money. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I got a message that I had to, like, at least look at about the show that I'm gonna do. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, that's what I posted on Instagram. Instagram and Facebook were down. And people, you know, when Instagram and Facebook went down, and in an ideal world, you'd be like, oh man, maybe people finally got off their phones and talked to one another, and people became less radicalized because the algorithm wasn't feeding you stuff to prey on your fears, and instead you actually talk to people and, like, realize that, oh, people are way more than the opinion that they actually post online or reshare online or what's being fed to them online. And they have these nuanced thought. And it's worth talking to your neighbor, even though if they believe different things than you, it's the sharing of ideas makes you both stronger. And in an ideal world, that happened. And but what actually happened was everyone would just kept checking their phone till it came back. I checked my phone like 30 bajillion times just to be like, damn. I was fiending for a notification. By the end of the day, I was just like, man, I'll suck your dick for a notification, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be real. Just give me a red box with a white number in it. Like, you know, I was fiending for that is, bro, I am a real deal addict. I am a real deal addict, dude. And I'm not going to do anything to stop it. In fact, look at you. I'm going to check my notification on you hoes right now. TikTok notifications. How many likes? 3, baby. 3 likes. Oh, wow. This has... I just posted a video of the cat. It already has 1,900 views. Hilarious. Not a lot of likes, but, you know. That's life. All right. Do we do the Bible now? 30 minutes. Do we have other things to talk about? I mean, apparently Instagram, IG, and Facebook going down. There's something shady along those lines that I did talk about on my Twitch. Remember to follow me on my Twitch, guys. Twitch.com/Mr. Dangerous Brown. Yada yada yada. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. Reply to my story. What? All right. Let's see. Alabama GOP governor signs bill to use COVID relief funds to build prisons into law. That's dope. Private prisons. Get out of here. Teen who ran over 6 cyclists outside Houston walks free. Why is that? Let's see. Let's see. Immediately after harassing this past weekend, a teenager behind the wheel of a black truck. Answer is no. The 16-year-old driver appeared to be trying to roll coal on a group of 8 cyclists training for Ironman. Let's see. Why didn't he go to jail? And slammed the 6 of the 8. He stopped, surveyed the wreckage before. Wow. He didn't go to jail. Interesting. 4 of the cyclists were hospitalized. 2 of those had to be airlifted. Oh, he must have been rich. I was like, how did that go to jail? I was like, oh, he must have been rich. He had to have been rich. That's a rich thing. To not go to jail. Yeah, he's not going to face. Authorities are tight-lipped about whether or not the teenagers would even face charges for running over 6 cyclists. They're like, maybe, on purpose too, by the way. Maybe he'll face charges. Okay, that's a rich thing. I was like, what's going on? How come? In fact, the Waller County DA claims he wasn't even made aware of the situation and heard it from social media. So that either means 2 things. One, these are either super bad cops, or 2, this kid is super rich and connected, and they're like, we got to keep this away from the DA, otherwise, Yeah, okay, never mind. Jesus, that made me mad for a second. California to require all school children to get COVID shots. That's going to be interesting. Surely nothing bad will happen for that. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we're all required to get vaccines to go to school. So it's interesting to see if, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't go to school unless you have this vaccine, this vaccine, this vaccine. I remember that as a kid. So it's interesting to see if COVID makes the cut as one of those places where you have to have a vaccine to go. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see. All right, let's do Joshua 1 right now. Hold on, I'm just making sure. I gotta check. I got my what was I gonna do? Oh, that's a good lineup. I got a blue suit. I got a straight up blue suit, and so I have to call Men's Warehouse and tell them I'm gonna pick it up on Thursday. All right. But is there anything else? If there's anything else, also if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, make sure you leave it in the comments, and I'll talk about it the next time I talk about it. The next time I record. Now that I have my own space like this, it'll probably. Right now, I'm recording about once every 2 weeks. It'll probably be a little more than that, obviously. But you know how it is. The last episode I released was what? September 24th, so almost 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's about what I'm doing right now. Because of all the streaming, it's tough. If this was the thing that was like getting me views and stuff, I would definitely do it more. I need to get a light box. I don't know. I'm messing up here. Either way, Joshua. We're gonna do the book of Joshua in 2 episodes. We're doing 1 through 12 today. It'll go hopefully kind of quickly. So Joshua 1, Moses dies. At the end of, Deuteronomy, Moses dies. The Lord appoints Joshua as the leader. He tells Joshua not to be afraid. The Lord is with him. And be strong and courageous. You know, the Lord's of. Joshua tells the people in 3 days they'll cross the Jordan. He reminds the tribes who will remain east that the fighting men still have to cross with them. And they can come back when the takeover is over. And the tribes go, we affirm this action. That's Joshua 1. Easy peasy, Joshua squeezy. All right, Joshua 2. Joshua sends 2 spies to Jericho to look over the land. They stay in the house of a prostitute named Rahab. Just not a very sexy prostitute name. Yeah, can you imagine just like making it rain? Although that's a stripper, it's not technically a prostitute, but you know, imagine making it rain on someone and then just being like, "Oh, what's your name?" And she goes, "Rahab." Most female names, I believe, I could be wrong about that. As soon as I said it, I was like, this seems wrong. But more often than male names, I'll say this: more often than male names, a female name ends in a vowel. Makes it softer. That's a theory, but I think I'm right about that. Male names end pretty. I think very few male names end in a vowel. Could be wrong about that. Just trying to think of names in my head, and it's not. I think more female names end in a vowel. The king of Jericho finds out about the spies and asks Rahab to turn them over, and Rahab was like, "Oh, they went that way," pointed off, but then she hid them, right? Told the king they left and she should chase them, and she hid them in the attic, which is pretty Jewish. Rahab tells the spies that the reason why she hid them is that she fears the Lord, and he asks the spies to spare her family when they come take over the land, Jericho. The spies agree. She lets them down, so she now lets them down to the window in the attic. The men tell her, which is crazy that the king of Jericho didn't check her house. It's not like it was a hidden attic. This attic had a window. It's crazy that he was like, "Hey, someone look through the window. Let's get a ladder up there. Look through the window. Let's see what's going on." Didn't even just, "Hey, Jericho, you kind of deserve what you got here." The men tell her for her family to be safe, she must tie a scarlet cord through the window that they came down through, and all her family must be in the house. Any of her family that's outside of the house will be murdered. And they have to stay silent. Shut up, bitch. That's what they said, I think. "Hey, keep your family in your house and shut up, bitch." That's how they said it. They were very disrespectful. That's them, not me. The men go back to Joshua and tell them the land is melting in fear because of them. Joshua 3, the Ark of the Covenant is carried into the Jordan. While the Ark is crossing, the river has stopped flowing and the Israelites cross on dry land. That's Joshua 3. This is, so far, after reading Joshua, I'm not a big fan of this one. It's just kind of boring. I think it's just them. So far, this whole book you'll see is just them taking over places pretty violently. I mean, we're about to see this in a second, but it's not my favorite of them. The stories aren't as good. Genesis, I think, so far has the best stories. I should do a tier ranking of the and the first half of Exodus has great stories as well. I should do a tier ranking of the different books. Joshua 4. After crossing the Jordan, 12 men from each tribe take 12 stones and carry them where they slept tonight. That's a memorial to when the flow of the Jordan was cut off so they could cross. There's just stones. As soon as the ark crossed, the waters returned. Joshua 5. Pretty, so far, it's pretty, this is like, it almost feels like the book of Joshua is setting up this sort of next turn with like Solomon and David and all those people, because we haven't got to them yet. And it feels like this is sort of the preamble to that. Amorite and Canaanite kings' hearts melted in fear when they heard the Jordan was crossed. They're camping. The Israelites are camping at a place called Gilgal. The Lord asked the Israelites to be circumcised again because the people born in the wilderness weren't circumcised. It's not like their foreskin magically grew back. I think they would have mentioned that. Or not. I guess they had to just circumcise the people born in the wilderness. Because when they're out there in the wilderness, they're too busy surviving. They're not like, "Oh, God, we got to cut off the tips of our dicks." Like, they're not, like, like, cutting off your foreskin is definitely, like, you're comfortable in some sense. You're not, if your whole day is like, "I got to find my next meal and I got to avoid the predators," you're not going to be like, "Well, it's also time to cut this foreskin off." This is the moment to be incapacitated for a day when I have to constantly be moving. No. So the people in the wilderness had to get circumcised. And it's the last time they all ate the manna from the ground. Because if you remember, while they were wandering through the forest, the way they ate is God made the dew on the ground become bread, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's what manna is. Let me look it up. Let me look up manna. Manna Bible. Yeah, it's bread. It's just bread. It's just on the ground that they're in the yeah. Okay. That's what I forgot. Yeah, it's like bread stuff. Okay. So, manna from the ground. Joshua near Jericho, a man with a sword in front of him. He's the commander of the army of the Lord. So a man with a sword appears before Joshua, and he asks Joshua to take off his sandals, and Joshua does. I'm pretty sure there was more there, but it's been a while since I read it, because I read this first part maybe like a week ago, and I already forgot. But there's something there. Joshua has to bow down to the guy who leads the army of the Lord. Joshua 6, Jericho is walled. God tells Joshua, 6 days, march around the city with armed men. On the 7th day, march around 7 times with the priests blowing trumpets, and the army will give a loud shout, and the walls will collapse. And everyone must die except Rahab the prostitute. Rahab. If you're a prostitute named Rahab, you 100% have a voice that smoked way too many cigarettes. Rahab sounds like this. You feel what I'm saying? For sure. That's not an attractive young prostitute. All the gold and bronze you find belongs in the Lord's treasury, which is like, hey, a way to do it, God. Way to make it. That's what it's all about, really, is the land and the money. I feel you. So they do the whole thing. The walls fall. They kill every living thing. Rahab and her family are taken outside of camp, and the city burns down. Joshua's oath that he makes with the Lord. He's cursed, or the people of Israelites. He tells them he's cursed if you try to rebuild Jericho. If you rebuild the foundation, your firstborn son is dead. If you rebuild the gates, your youngest son is dead. So there's that. So don't try to rebuild Jericho, and don't take any of this stuff. Everything belongs to the Lord. None of the loot belongs to you. Which gets this next guy in Joshua 7, Achan, in trouble because he takes some of the loot, the devoted things he wasn't supposed to take. And God got mad. Joshua sent a man to spy in the land of Ai. The land of Ai. And the spy says, we only need 2,000 men to take the town. It's not that big. So they send the 2,000 men, but they get routed by the people of Ai. And Joshua goes to the Lord, tears off his clothes, falls face down in front of the ark, and says, Lord, why? Why have you done this? You told me to trust you. And the Lord says, get up, you bitch. You fat little bitch. The reason why you lost that Ai, you fat little bitch, is that Israel sinned and took the devoted things. They violated the covenant. I told them, the loot is mine. The loot is the Lord's, it ain't yours. And that's why, until this is corrected, you will lose to your enemies, you fat little bitch. That's how the Lord talks to Joshua. Go tell your people you cannot stand against your enemies until the devoted things, the loot, is removed. Whoever's caught with the devoted things, destroyed by fire. And the choosing process is hilarious. So Joshua has to choose a random tribe and a random tribe, a random clan within the tribe, a random family within the clan, and then a random person within the family, in the clan, in the tribe of the 12 tribes, and search that person. And so really, out of the thousands of people, the chances you find anything are immensely small. And Joshua chooses Achan. He chooses Achan's tribe. He chooses Achan's clan. He chooses Achan's family. He chooses Achan. Achan goes, look, I did it. Makes no attempt to hide it. And the Israelites stone him to death. And God looked at Joshua and was like, good job, you fat little bitch. So Joshua 8, the Lord tells Joshua, hey, go to Ai. This time you can plunder it this time. You can take the loot. This time. So 30,000 went to Ai. So they set an ambush and they fake retreat. So what happens is, so here's the city of Ai, right? Let's say here's the city of Ai. They attack from the front. They send a garrison out to the back, right? So the garrison from the back sits and waits. I, getting confident because they beat the guys the first time, send out people to meet the Israelites at the front. The Israelites do a fake retreat. The city of Ai then sends all of its soldiers after the retreating Israelites, thinking if we can kill them all, we can rout them, which is a terrible. You know what that reminds me of is if you remember The Dark Knight Returns, how Bane is underground and Bane is underground, right? And to get him, the Gotham Police Department sends literally all its police officers underground, and they get trapped. That's what this is like. You send all your fighting men. You send none of them back home in case there was an ambush, in case there was a garrison in the back. But they send them. So all the I men follow Joshua in the fake retreat. Not a single man, and it works perfectly. Joshua then holds his javelin forward by the Lord, and that javelin forward is told by the Lord, and that's the signal for the garrison in the back to come into the city that has no fighting men in it and ransack it. Completely destroy it. And then the men who are on the attack turn around and see that their cities are being destroyed, and they just kind of lose all will to fight, kind of. They get routed. They impale the king's body on a pole. And then at Mount Ebal afterwards, Joshua writes the law of Moses on a stone. And after that, Joshua reads all the words to the Israelites. But they beat them. Joshua 9. So all the kings of Jordan come together to beat Joshua. The town of Gibeon resorted to a ruse, though. Gibeon's like, I don't think we can take this. I don't think we take them. So they fill donkeys with like a bunch of bad moldy bread and like supplies that are worn down. And they go to Joshua and they ask Joshua to make a treaty with them. And they said, we're from a faraway land. We want to make a treaty. Look how far away we are. We came bearing gifts, and they molded and they got weathered. That's how we're so far away. And Joshua looks at how old, moldy, and worn down the stuff is, and they make the treaty. And then they find out the Gibeons are nearby. And Joshua's like, oh, you lied to us. We can't destroy you because we made a treaty with you. And, God's a capitalist. You can't, if you make a contract with someone, you can't go against it. And they did. So they don't destroy him. But he says the Gibeons are now cursed. They will never be released as woodcutters and water carriers for the house of God. So the Gibeons, they survive. They get put in lower positions. If I'm the Gibeons, though, that's 100%. I'll take that. Instead of, having every man, woman, and children slaughtered. Sure. That's a good deal. Joshua 10. The Adonizedek king becomes worried, gathers all the kings in the area to attack Gibeon for making peace with the Israelites. Like, hey, I can't believe you turn on us. They gathered and attacked. The Gibeons appealed to the Israelites. And the Israelites were like, we'll help you out. You are our water carriers and woodcutters. And they they take the attackers by surprise. The attackers are killed by the Israelites. And then anyone who flees is able to flee being killed by the Israelites is killed by hailstorm. The Lord delayed the sun from going down a whole day after the victory here. To celebrate, I guess. The 5 kings responsible for the attack fled. They hid in a cave. They're found and brought to Joshua. The army commanders are told to put their feet on the 5 kings' neck in I'm pretty sure, that's for sure, someone was definitely getting hard off that. There's no way people went through that whole situation when you're putting your feet on a tied up man. There's no way not one of them was just raging boner. But, that's all speculation, of course. I'm not a Bible scholar by any means. They strung up their bodies on poles afterwards. Then they placed the bodies in the cave after they strung them up for a while. They placed them in the cave where they hid, and the entrance was covered with rocks. And then there's just a list of cities that Joshua travels to and just fucking murders everyone in. It's a long list. Joshua is a violent man. Joshua 11, the northern kings defeated. Just a list of another list, just a huge list of cities that Joshua continued to destroy. And then Joshua 12 is just a list of kings that Joshua defeated. 31 kings. All right. There's that. Um, oh, I should talk about this because this happened since the last time. I was like, we're at 50. It's usually where I end it, but it's like I kind of, we're 49. Let me go an hour. Let me not, I only do this once every 2 weeks, or let me not, you know, take away from your time with me. If you don't, especially if you don't come to the streams, this is like your only time with me, really. So we got the cats neutered. The cats got the snip snip. I forgot if I talked about this before, but so we adopted these cats, found them on the street. They're amazing cats, right? And I knew nothing about taking care of pets, so this whole thing has just been like, oh, let's figure out what to do. So I Googled, like, what do you do to take care of a cat that you found on the street? And the first thing that came up was, should you declaw your cat? And I was like, oh, I didn't know people did that. I didn't know that's a thing you had to do. So I clicked on it, and it turns out, obviously, you shouldn't do it. Right? Like, it's very bad for the cat. It's very inhumane. Don't declaw the cat, right? And then I looked up, should I neuter the cat? And Google was like, oh, yeah, do that. So, oh, yeah, for sure. Claws they need. Balls, take them out. Take them out. They love it. The Google was just trying to justify. Oh, they love it. Spit on their face. Call them daddy while it happens. Like, dude, they love it. But yeah, the cat's got the snip snip, and it was really interesting. They really haven't changed personality-wise. They're still the same. They're still the cats are still little boys, They have such little boy energy. So much energy, so much playing, so much roughhousing. They roughhouse. They use my leg. They think my leg is a toy. I have to, when I walk around, I have to walk around in jeans. Otherwise, they'll start trying to play with my leg. But like how how like when two cats play, they like gnaw at each other. Like they'll gnaw at my leg like it's another cat. It's the weirdest thing. I do have a very hairy leg. I'll put that out there. My leg be hairy, dude. But yeah, they're out here. They're doing well though. It's been a while. The first night was rough. They were like actually crying. Like I held Obama and that dude just cried on my shoulder. It was heartbreaking, dude. It was heartbreaking. It was a lot, man. I fucking love these cats, dude. It's so weird. I've never had a pet before in my life, and now I just love these cats. So, who knows? Who knows what the world, what the world will it's just us against the world, me and these cats. It's just us against the world, man. We bought him a leash. Trying to start walking him. They're curious about the outside. They're so curious. That's what I like. I like watching them be curious about things. They're so curious about everything, dude. So dope that you can live a life like that, where you can just be curious about everything. I wish I lived that kind of life. Oh, damn. I said I gotta go an hour. I realized I gotta be on Twitch soon. Guys, I do a Twitch show, like not on my Twitch. I'm Matt Daddy 69 on his top 10 everything. We're doing top 10 drugs today, so I gotta go do that for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta end this right now, actually. But I will be back soon. I'll be working on the Steve Harvey thing over the next couple weeks. I think that's gonna take me it's gonna take me a while to do, but I want to do it right. But look out for it. And then after that, I think I'll do a breakdown on what sets Chris Rock apart from the other comics and stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Just because I love comedy, so it's like might as well just focus on that, But thank you, infidels. I'll see ya. Oh man, what do I call this show? Oh, I met Freddie Gibbs. That's what I'll call this show. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Peace. Or see you soon. Peace.